Creatures of the night, it's your girl Tati. Let's talk about Ring of Honor. We had another good episode. Last week I forgot to do a review on the YouTube special that they had, which was also a really great episode. I always feel like whenever they do the little YouTube specials, those shows tend to be slightly better than what we get on a weekly base that we pay on $9.99 for. And it was a really good show. So I'll put a link to that show if anybody didn't see it down below if anybody wants to check that out. However, this episode was on the Honor Club. We started off with CMLL Trios titles on the line. We had El Sky Team, which is Mystico, Neon, and Mascara Dorada going against Los Depepadores, which is Rugido, Magnus, and Volador Jr. And I was just like, oh, well, this is nice that we get a chance to get this, because it's not like we have six-man tag champions in Ring of Honor, do we? These guys are so fucking amazing. Every time they have CMLL wrestlers on the show, they always turn it out. And preferably, I always feel like their energy are best for opening match or for the main events of the show. Now, Trios titles on the line, and it's fucking Ring of Honor. The titles wasn't going anywhere, and y'all know whenever y'all see Mystico, he ain't losing. So whoever's on his team will always win. In terms of the results, we knew that it was going to be predictable with the winners, but I really do feel like the crowd really connect with the CMLL wrestlers, and with them being regularly on this year on Ring of Honor, I am hoping that with Final Battle pay-per-view, which is going to be sometime in December, that we can have more of what we could have gotten with Forbidden Door, more of a Forbidden Door type of situation where it is CMLL versus Ring of Honor. I think that would be really great based on what we've had. We haven't really had much interactions with CMLL wrestlers and the Ring of Honor wrestlers, and if we can continue to do that after the pay-per-view, I think we'll be on to the right path in terms of getting a somewhat of a Forbidden Door Part 2 situation. El Sky Team ends up retaining their trios titles with La Mystica from Mystico. Now we also have our cousin Beef is back to go against Blake Christian. And Beef, he was on the special that did last week as well. So hopefully we get a chance to see him regularly, because I really do like him. The crowd connects with him. And I think he's pretty decent in the ring, and I would love to see him grow on Ring of Honor to be one of those regular guys. He's going against our boy Blake. Lee Johnson was out there ringside with Blake. Blake had his Nikes that were custom with ice cream. It was so cute. It was really, really cute. I was like, bro, you're wrestling in these? There's no way I would wrestle in something custom like this. It just looked like something that should just be displayed on a cabinet at home and not on my feet on a wrestling match. I'm so glad this wasn't a squash situation, because both of these wrestlers deserve to have some TV time, and that's what helped people connect. I am not a squash kind of girl, and I do feel like a lot of wrestlers, if anything, most wrestlers don't benefit from squash matches. If y'all just need to fill in a little bit of time, then I guess that's fine. But in a situation like that, we have two wrestlers that the crowd can really connect to, and we've been seeing much more of a push with Blake and Lee Johnson as a team, but at times they do their own things as singles competitors. And Beef looked absolutely amazing tonight, and the crowd is absolutely loving him. So Tony Khan, bring him back, let him be one of the regulars on the show. However, Blake ends up taking the win, which I am cool with. Now, I will say, a few weeks ago, Blake and Lee Johnson did end up mentioning the Ring of Honor tag titles. This was right after Dustin had got injured, and I'm thinking that they're hinting at maybe at some point new tag champions. I'm not entirely sure, but they have been bringing it up, and if that's the case, I would absolutely love to see anybody, especially Blake and Lee Johnson, holding the tag titles if that's the route that they're going. Now, also, we did have last week, maybe I should have reviewed last week's show, because a lot of it does coincide with what's going on for today's episode, but we had QT. QT had a match with somebody who was from that Cobra Kai show. I don't know. I don't watch TV like that. So one of them people that was dressed up like Speedball Cousin or something. And it was interesting because this person is like a friend of Paul Walter Heiser, who is a wrestler but like an actor. I don't know what he does, but he's been featured on Ring of Honor and on AEW before. Y'all know who I'm talking about, probably. They're still cooking up their story. They had like something going on since earlier this year, and I feel like they tried to make it something for Supercard of Honor when it was going to be on earlier this year, but that obviously got pushed further into the summer, so nothing ever came of that, and they're really making it a big deal so that they can make it a match for Death Before Dishonor, which they do end up confirming that it will be a fight without honor match at the Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. So fight without honor match is basically anything goes type of situation. And I've seen Paul Walter Hauser on MLW, and he does shit like this, so this isn't his element. QT, I have not necessarily done matches like this in particular, but he does everything in terms of wrestling, so I think that this will be okay. Am I interested in seeing it? Not really, but they're giving it, so we'll just take it. Up next, we get a rematch like almost a year later of AR Fox going against Beast Mortos. I was actually there at that show where they had their match a year ago, and I was in love. I was just like, oh my god, these beautiful men's. I don't know which one to cheer for. If anything, I'm the winner in the situation, being front row watching these guys beat the shit out of each other. Anyway, last time AR Fox did win, but this time we have them going one-on-one, and the difference is we have the entire LFI ringside. Roosh and Jalisco is ringside watching this match, and it's interesting because AR Fox and Beast Mortos, they have really great chemistry with each other, and even when it seems like AR Fox have like a bit of the upper hand in the match, Roosh looks very disappointed. He's out there with his suit and he's just like, beat this bitch up. You know what I mean? And Beast Mortos doesn't seem to be impressing him, if that makes any sense. And it turned out to be a really great match, but I really do feel like since Roosh is a former Ring of Honor champion, I would actually love to see LFI, running things over there in Ring of Honor. Like, I think that could possibly help bring that interest to people wanting to watch Ring of Honor, because I feel like they're being so inconsistent with these guys on AEW that maybe if they were to do something with bringing them up on Ring of Honor, maybe that might be best case scenario, and I don't know. But in typical fashion, AR Fox ends up taking another L, and to be honest, I'm just like I just don't really get it. Now look, he's one of the best wrestlers I think that they have on their roster, and AR Fox never disappoint. I can't say a single time that AR Fox was in the ring and I felt like he didn't give it 100%. He's just never really winning anything. And after the match, we do get a beatdown from LFI, and no one came out to help AR Fox, which was very interesting. I was just like, oh, okay, maybe somebody's going to come out and help AR Fox, and maybe we'll get a trio situation out of it. And nothing happened. They beat the fuck out of him, and then LFI just celebrate after a little beatdown, which honestly, we could have did a little bit more with this. Now we have a trios match. We have the Workhorsemen, which is JD Drake, Anthony Henry, Lord have mercy, Anthony Henry, Jesus, and Adam Priest. They come out to the ring, and they're supposed to have a match with the trios champions, six-man tag champions, if you will. But Dustin is at home. I think he had his surgery today. I saw he posted something, and both of his legs and knees was all wrapped up and everything, and with bandages. So I think it might have happened today, something like that. Dustin, we praying, but at the same time, it's just like, y'all not you're out for sure. What are we doing with the six-man tag titles? Now Workhorsemen think that because Dustin is not going to be able to compete, that the match is just not going to happen. And then here comes the Von Erichs. These bitches actually showed up on the show, and they came out there, and it's just like, oh, just because it's us two doesn't mean that we're not going to have a match. And I was like, okay, so it's going to be 2 on 3. Is that what we're doing? But instead, we end up having a special third person in the ring, which happened to be another son of Texas, which is Sammy Guevara. And the crowd went mild when Sammy came on out there. And to be honest with you, I don't know what it is about Sammy that people are still not 100% connecting to, but whatever. He comes on out there, and they end up having their trios match. Honestly, ain't nothing wrong with the Von Erichs and Sammy in terms of wrestling, but they have not done damn near anything when it comes to the trios titles. And because they're baby faces, I mean, Sammy's a baby face because he's with them, but I don't know necessarily people necessarily care about Sammy like that. But they end up taking the win, which honestly I didn't even like seeing. Like, I prefer seeing like another team just fucking taking the W. They end up winning, and then after this though, they had a backstage segment where they mentioned that Death Before Dishonor is next Friday, and they're champions. And the Von Erichs said to Sammy that, the pay-per-view is next week, and if we need somebody to help us, you're the one that we're going to look up to be that third guy in the group. And I was like, the fuck we talking about? And then Sammy was just like, yeah, I had the tag championships, and if I need somebody, I can call one of you guys. And they were just like, yeah, it doesn't matter which one of us you want to team with you. Doesn't really matter. Give us a call. We'll pull up and team with you. And I said, no, we're not doing that. And I'm gonna tell you why. Tony Khan has already confirmed several times that AEW does not do the free bird rule, which is if you are in a faction that if one of the person who originally won a championship cannot defend the championship due to injury, whatever, that someone else in the faction can take their place. Tony Khan has already confirmed that, and the last time that we had trios champions with what's their name, Bang Bang Gang, they ended up vacating because Tony Khan said no, we're not doing that. They had both the 6-man tag titles and they had the trios titles, and they had to vacate. And if we are going to play fair, then that's what we're going to continue to do. So for me, I was just like, no, you know what? Fine. Let these guys do what they do on the pay-per-view on Friday and strip them from the titles. Whoever they go against should win those titles because Dustin cannot defend the championships. And I don't care who's mad about it or whatever. If that's how y'all going to play with everyone else who's had to vacate, you should continue to be on that same energy moving forward. Now after this, we have ladies in action. We have Janae Kai going against Trish Adora in a fun matchup. At least we had a little bit of times for the ladies on the match. Both these girls are amazing, and I wish we can see Janae a hell of a lot more. The way she moves in the ring is insane. She has a really interesting look, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys probably are familiar with her. And I'm seeing more of Trish Adora incorporating submissions within her matches, and that's leading me to believe that maybe they're going to end up putting her in the Pure tournament for the women's Tony Khan. Whenever you feel like getting ready to do that, we'll wait. We'll still wait. And she ends up taking the win, which is cool with me. We need more women to be on the fucking show. There are some episodes where there's just no women at all. And then when they finally do get some of the girls on there, then we'll just get like one match, which I'm not a fan of. We can do a hell of a lot more, not just on Ring of Honor, but on AEW TV. Now, we have our main event, which is Hechicero, Lord have mercy. Oh, it's just so dreamy. Going against Jay Lethal. And what was interesting was Uncle Don came out with Hechicero. And I said, on Ring of Honor, where were you when Takeshita was going against 8 people in one match in the tournament? You know what? Let me not get into it. And he came on out there. He was ringside for Hechicero. And I thought that was just interesting. And he's doing his the Spanish intro for Hechicero, where he got his mouth all wide open and he's all churned for Hechicero or whatever. Very strange, but we love you, Uncle Don. And he's ringside, and he's doing whatever he can to make sure that Hechicero can take the win. Honestly, we don't really need Uncle Don out there. The entire time that he was standing out there, everybody was just, fuck you, Catalyst, fuck you, Catalyst. He didn't deserve that. He didn't deserve that. Just his mere presence just get people riled up. Whatever. Hechicero and Jay Lethal, Jesus Christ, Jay Lethal and that gear he was wearing. Ooh, thank you, Jay. We do appreciate it. Really great matchup between the two of them. They have really great chemistry. We know that Hechicero is going to be going for the Ring of Honor World Title. So obviously the results were predictable in terms of who's going to win. So we didn't really need Uncle Don out there being pretty and distracting everyone. Referee told him to get the fuck out of here because he's just getting involved. And once he leaves, Heiji Seto's able to take it from there, and he ends up taking the win via submission. And when I tell you, Heiji Seto is just an amazing technical wrestler. Like, the way that man just be folding people up is just, oh my God. I would be so next in line. Like, hey, fold me up too. He ends up taking the win, and he was talking into the camera about how he's, going to beat Bandito's ass and take the world title from him next week at Death Before Dishonor. I am so looking forward to that main event of Bandito and Heiji Seto. Bandito has absolutely been killing it on AEW TV, but unfortunately, I feel like we don't see him enough on Ring of Honor, which is criminal because people are absolutely loving him a hell of a lot more, and they really love him with Brody King as well, and they've won me over. They have won me over. However, he still has the world title, and it would be nice to see him participate on the show. Regardless, I know we're going to get a really great match with Heiji Seto and Bandito, but I do want to say this. In terms of the pay-per-view, we need to make changes with the titles. We got Nick Wayne, who is confirmed to have a broken foot, who will not be able to do anything with the TV title. I don't know if they're going to end up vacating or not. I'm not sure. Mina Shirakawa is the interim champion, but she's going for the women's title on Friday. And I can't even get into the fucking 6-man tag titles and the tag titles because nothing at all is happening with that. And I'm looking at the comments on X and on Instagram and all that stuff, and seeing people are literally feeling the same way that I feel, where it's just like, hey, we like these guys, but like, Dustin is hurt. They've done nothing with the titles for the past year. They've had to let other people who have been consistently on the show get an opportunity to hold these titles too, because it just doesn't make any sense why nothing has happened when it comes to the tag division and the 6-man tag division. Honestly, I would have unified the 6-man tag titles between AEW and Ring of Honor and just let whoever are holding that go between both shows, which I think is going to be okay because there's not that many trios within the company, but their tag titles, they can leave that going in Ring of Honor to be its own thing, and AEW has its own sets of tag titles, and let's get these divisions going because people are rooting for Ring of Honor to be better. And like, if you are not doing enough with your championships, people are just not going to be interested in the show at all. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back. What show we got going on? Oh, well, we got Collision on Saturday, and then we have the pay-per-view, Forbidden Door, on Sunday morning. So for those of you who want to watch a watch-along, I will be live, and I'll also do a review on that. So I'll see you guys then.